Yeah.
Let's go.
Yep. Go and give me the mic check. No, I'm kidding.
Mic
Don't.
check.
I'm
Chickity check check.
Struggling. So, episode 2, Kansas recap.
Episode deuce.
No Xfinity this week, just ARCA, Trucks, and Cup Series, aka the
Yep.
Kyle Larson Show.
Yep. We had Arca and then Freak Off 1 and Freak Off 2.
Yeah.
Two aliens dominating.
Well, it was actually 3 aliens if you count the Corey Haim part of the Carson Hocevar win.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Forgot. It wasn't him. It was a Hosevar.
Yeah. Got
What
trapped a
happened?
got trapped a lap down because of Malcolm in the middle of the infield spinning.
Oh, yeah, that caution. That Frankie caution.
Yeah, we will go over it though. Let's get started with ARCA and how awful it is.
All right. Next to the trucks.
Yeah, it is. It's unwatchable. It's like it's if it's not a super speedway, there's no reason to turn the ARCA race on. And I've got
The only other reason I could think of is if maybe Cletus is in there, but anyways.
Yep, that's what I have ARCA standing for is anything to race Cletus again because that is what they need. Go ahead and back the Brinks truck up to the Freedom Factory and say, "Hey, buddy, name your price, and we will pay it because it is unwatchable without you." You can see right here with Butterbean Queen out in front, and I'm pretty sure he stayed out front after he passed Sir Wallach. But 42 laps
Yeah,
into the run, you got a 2 second gap, then a 14 second gap, a 15 second gap, and then 3 gaps under 20, over 25 seconds. Everybody else in the field a lap down. It's just awful. It's unwatchable.
yeah. I think Arca is just a a platform for somebody to go in there and pay some money and experience NASCAR, and then you got like 3 people fighting for an actual championship.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
pretty
It is
kind of lame.
basically, do you have $10,000 and want to race a race car?
Well,
I'm
I got one of those things.
yeah,
The other one I don't believe I've
yeah,
ever
yeah.
had.
I've got one
No.
of those things, and it's not $10,000. Yeah, it's exactly. Look at this fucking dude, 61 years old, out there causing cautions. What are we doing,
He
buddy?
say he sold corn dogs or something.
That was a joke that he was a damn corn dog salesman, but I I don't know what he is, but he's not a race car driver full time anyway.
No, he was a dentist or something like that.
Yeah,
He's some kind of
there's
something.
somebody in the field that is like a what is it called? A retina surgeon,
That's it. That's it. That's
and he
it.
uses
An eye
his
doctor.
yeah he uses his money to ah to support his I want to drive a race car funds.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. I'd do the same thing if I was him.
Yeah, if I had I'm a retina surgeon money, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I do not
Well,
have
yeah.
I'm
I
a
guess
retina
I.
surgeon money though.
I don't have. I'm a retina surgeon education either.
Uh-uh. And here we go with our new segment called the Clear Enough Bottom Split Race Moment. And we say that because if you've ever raced in the iRacing bottom split, you know that it's absolutely awful. And this happens all the time. But it's Dad Moffat in the 46. What's he going to say with us?
So am I clear?
He said, yeah, clear enough. And this was awful, man. Like I know we watched it a couple of times in the replays here, and I can't make sense of it. Like even if your spotter calls you clear here, maybe I don't know, check that thing up there at the
He
top
is
called
clear. Not
yeah,
clear anymore.
maybe check that mirror. You know, it's awful.
Yeah. I mean, to me, if you out here, on maybe even somebody else's like wallet, and you're just in an ARCA race, like you don't have a chance to win. Like, why even try to make a move like that? Like, why even chance it? In my eyes, that's how I see it. But
Yeah,
maybe these guys take this a little more seriously than I feel like they should.
and Lawless Allen. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Didn't it say he's Richard Petty's grandson or something like that? He's got some ties to Richard Petty.
Hey, maybe he thought he'd just give it up.
Yeah, that
I'm the grandson of the king. Move.
think he's got wheel damage, and that's gonna be the end of his night. Let's even if our spotter calls us clear, let's just check that old mirror up there because you were not clear, buddy. Not even close. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, it's obviously some really green drivers still.
Yeah. And I think this next one will be your clip from the 55 where she's wrecking and staying in the gas. Another example of just being new to the sport.
Yeah.
You see the two
Now hold
up the
on.
track into her.
I think I'm glad I forgot about this whole ordeal, but I'm glad you got this clip in here because I myself have talked a lot of shit about women driving in NASCAR or girls really. I don't think actually the younger of these two female drivers did a really good job hanging on to a race car. I don't know if you can roll that back a little bit, but the car on the outside of this ordeal is like a young girl that I don't think she's too far out of high school. I think she's 18. You see her get her car sideways, kind of breathe out of the gas, straighten it back up, keep it off the wall, kept it off of this chick's car.
Yeah,
But
Isabella Robusto.
uh,
Yeah,
when you see her get sideways the opposite direction and she starts spinning down the track, she don't even come out of the gas until she's two car lengths from the inside wall.
yeah.
It just,
Doesn't
I
lock
don't
the
know. You
brakes
see
up.
it.
Just not very good. It should run it back a replay right here, and you'll see it. Where yeah. Then we'll see Kyle Busch do the same thing later, and see if you can spot the difference between ARCA and Cup Series.
Well,
Here you go. I mean, the two does start the wreck. I think she's just tied on the bottom and gets up into her.
oh, I'm sorry. I had the cars backwards a while ago. The high school girl is on the inside here. See, she does a really good job keeping it together off the wall.
Then we're just
Look,
in the
still in
gas,
the
in the gas,
gas.
in the gas. Like if it ain't turned by now, that some bitch ain't turning. We can get out. We can get out of the gas. Like,
Maybe she just was not afraid of that inside wall. She was gonna show who's boss. I
look,
reckon.
you can see the wheels, and we're locked
She's
up.
still.
Still in it.
Now we
Still in
locked
it.
them up.
Now we're locked them up. Yeah, it's too late. We're 3 grooves from the wall. It's gonna be trouble.
This is slow motion, so it makes it look not as bad until she finally hits the wall.
Yeah, she said, I'm flying through the air right now. That's not good.
Yeah, not a good look at all for Robusto.
No, she's done good on both the super speedways, but that made it look awful. Like,
She did a good job of making the young girl that was involved in this accident look like a better driver, though.
yeah. And then that's the end of that race because Queen just dominates it. I think maybe after that yellow, 2 more cars get back on the lead lap. It finished with maybe 9 that weren't a lap down. The only ones that
Out
were ever in the
of
race,
25 or something.
yeah, the only ones that were ever in the race from the start of it were Sir Wallich and Queen.
Yeah.
Thank, thank God that it was rough to watch. I don't think either one of us were very interested in what was going on the ARCA Kansas race.
Not really. I'd like to be invested and understand what a lot of these drivers go through and stuff. Like maybe I'm cutting them short with my opinion of it, but
Well, it certainly has been the tale
it's
of
just
two seasons.
hard to watch.
Yeah, it is hard to watch for sure.
Not being a real life NASCAR driver or a race car driver, period, and watching these guys and feeling like the majority of them suck. It's kind of it's wrong in a way, but I don't feel like I'm the only one that feels like that.
Nah.
Hard to watch.
And we move on to the trucks. Look at our boy. I thought it was cool though. Give our boy Roger some love.
Yeah, I'm glad the broadcast did because his teammates and the rest of the drivers in the field gave him very much the exact opposite of that the entire race.
Yeah. Yeah, it ended up being a kind of a rough start for a rough run for Raja, especially on restarts, man. Just not getting any help at all.
I think part of it, the theme throughout the whole damn weekend was you didn't want to be on the outside pole on a restart. Like in theory, on paper, that's where you wanted to be because of the outside lane being so strong in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But that's everybody just would take the second place restart car 3 wide every restart.
Yep.
Just about.
As soon as we're getting to turn 1, we're jumping 3 wide. Or in this case, if you can see right here, lap 1, we're 5 wide going into turn 1.
Yeah, great, wonderful. What could go wrong here?
Absolutely nothing. They actually made it through it somehow.
Yeah, I think they did right here on the initial start.
But it was wild. This was a common thing all race. As soon as we're going to not push anybody and jump under or over or through the middle of anyone that we can before we make it to turn 1. The bottom you kind of have to push because you're locked there. So, but the top, just nobody pushing. And the first caution was the 26 spinning. He
Spinning himself on purpose.
Yeah. From damage that he took from, I believe that 5 wide, somebody got together, then caused a checkup, and the 26 got a tire going down, spun himself coming into pit road to bring the caution out. 2-lap penalty from NASCAR.
NASCAR did not like that.
You can see the lady, she's kind of like, huh, you messed up, buddy. You got to stay here.
Has been great tonight, been great all season. And
yeah, it was a rough day for the 26, but I like it. Don't spin yourself.
So here we go.
Yeah, you can't do that, buddy.
The leaders get to
Can't
the
park
line.
there.
We'll have 2 laps remaining in stage
Well,
number
now you
1.
can park it there
Ooh, a little
for
sideways.
2 laps.
Yeah, you can park it here, but you can't park it up there.
Then you're going to see the restart here to end stage 1. Raja on the outside, Corey Heim on the inside. And I believe this is where he immediately gets put 3 wide. No help.
Nice corner
No pushy.
Oh, and he's still middle of 3 wide.
Look at this. Restarts are so
Is that
awesome.
Hocevar right there behind?
That is Daniel Honeycutt in the 45.
Oh, they just all barely get into the corner.
Nope.
Caden Honeycutt went from
It's the best push you got all day. Then before we get to turn 1, we're jumping inside of you.
6th or 7th position.
And it's going to be a rough day from there.
Corner smoke rolling off somebody.
1 lap to go.
Yeah. My boy struggled on restarts pretty much the whole race.
With a huge
Yeah.
block on
I don't believe he netted a positive
Corey
restart
Heim is there,
the
but
entire
gosh,
race.
Raja Karuth in the 71 not
See
giving up. Look
Carson
at
Hocevar
Grant
running the
Enfinger in
bottom.
the 9.
Lane Riggs with a nice run down the bottom of the back straightaway.
Good second place
all
finish for
this,
him here.
Corey
though.
Heim's looking in his mirror saying, thank you, I will take this stage win, guys.
Yeah, I don't understand
Corey
why
Heim,
nobody learned from the other
29
people's
laps
mistake
led
all
so
night
far
and just
tonight.
constantly
He
did not
picks
push
up
the top
stage
line.
number 1.
I don't
It's
think
his
anyone
fourth
gained
stage
track
win at
position from
Kansas
jumping
and
3
his
wide on the
6th.
restarts like
It's
they
been
did.
great tonight, been great all season, and he's going to see if he
Still
can't get
tried
another
it,
stage
though.
win here in just a second.
All night long.
So here we go. The leaders
That's
get
I believe
to
Corey
the line.
Heim
We'll
pretty
have
much-
2 laps remaining in stage number
This
1.
was what
Ooh, a
Oh,
little
the first 2
sideways.
stages
big
looked
tire
like.
spin there for
Maybe.
Raja on the out.
At 34,
I think so.
Frankie Muniz
See,
scored with 1
stage
lap
2 and
led.
see what happens there. I
Pace
believe
car
it is
off Corey Heim. Raja
the same
Karuth
thing
once
to end
again
stage
on the
2,
front
isn't
row.
it? Yeah, right here. It's
Nice.
Corey Heim on the
Leading
inside,
restart once again.
Raja on the outside, and this is with the Carson Hocevar push.
And the bottom lane is going to just
Yeah,
eat
you
them
would
up.
think,
There's
you know,
one.
he's going to have some help this time. He's got a chance to
So that's
really
the
race
rest of the
with Corey
outside lane.
Heim
You saw
because he's
Carson
got help
Hocevar
Yeah,
behind him.
help,
Somebody
a
actually
teammate.
racing
And
for
look at all
fire.
the positions they
Yeah.
both lost from.
And what's
Raja
Carson
is
Hocevar
going
do?
way back
He says,
right
well,
now.
let's immediately go
So
3
Chandler
wide.
Smith picks
Not
up
even
the
out of the
second
trioval
spot.
yet.
Look
We're
at
3
Lane
wide
Riggs
with
on
my
the bottom.
teammate.
Those are 2 really stout Fords. We've
could have
watched
4
them
wide,
beat
actually.
players week in and week out. They're
The
gonna be
bottom
players
line
again
just
here
gets run
tonight.
away with it.
Michael, you talked to Lane Riggs on the radio before the start of this race. He came up one
Just
spot
bleed
short
positions
here in
back
the
here
fall
all the way to
Corey
what,
Heim.
8th,
He's on a
9th?
mission. Fled 34.
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz
Ray, I don't know
scored
how
with
you
one
felt
lap
right here,
fled.
but
Pace car
I had a little bit
is
of a
off.
different
Corey
opinion
Heim.
of Carson
Raja
Hocevar.
Carruth once again
Yeah, I
on the
was
front
not.
row.
I always
Nice
thought as a Cup
even
driver
restart
coming into
once
one of
again.
these races,
Carson Hocevar is going to
if
jump
you're
the top of his
racing
teammate
in
Raja
a
Carruth, and
Inspire
that bottom lane is going to just
in
eat
one of
them
their
up.
trucks,
Four wide
you
into
would
turn
want to
one.
do, you know, you
So
got a
that's the
great
risk of the
chance to
outside
win.
lane.
You're
You saw
way
Carson
more
Hocevar
experienced than
jump
anybody
Raja
in the
Carruth,
field.
and look at
Why
all
not
the
take an
positions they
opportunity
both
to
lost
give
from it. Raja is going
one of your
way back right
teammates,
now.
temporary
Chandler
teammates, a
Smith
hand,
picks up the
just
second
for,
spot. Look at Lane
especially
Riggs
like
on
for
the
a
bottom.
stage. What does a
Those are
stage
two really
do for
stout
you as a
Fords.
Cup driver?
We've
Nothing.
watched
Yeah,
them
part-time
beat
in a
players
Cup
there's
week
series.
in
there's
and
no
week out.
points for you to be
They're gonna
had
players
out
again
here
here
at all.
tonight.
And
Michael, you talked
the
to Lane
biggest
Riggs on the
freak
radio
in the
before
truck
the start of
series
this
who
race. He came
dominates
up one
everything is
spot
on the
short
inside.
here in
You've
the
got
fall
one
to Corey
chance to maybe
Heim.
help
He's on a mission.
Roger get
Fled
by him here.
34. Frankie
Your
Muniz
quote
scored with
unquote
one
teammate
lap
for the
fled.
evening at least. Push
Pace
him.
car is
Why are we
off.
not pushing
Corey
him?
Heim. Raja Carruth once
Yeah, the
again on
theme,
the front row.
the whole thing with
Nice
Spire letting
even
Cup
restart
drivers
once
run their
again.
trucks.
Carson Hocevar's
Every
gonna
time
jump
I've
the
seen
top of
him in
his
a
teammate
situation,
Raja
because
Carruth,
what's
and the bottom
what's
lane
the
is
other
gonna
guy
just
that drives
eat
for
them up.
Spire
There's
that's actually a
Wide
full-time
into turn
teammate?
one.
Oh God, it's
So
the
that's the risk of the
77
outside lane. You
Perez.
saw Carson Hocevar jump
Well, you
Raja
never see
Carruth,
him up
and
front,
look at all the
qualifying
positions
up
they
here,
both lost from it.
racing
Raja
up here
is
ever.
going
But
way
you always
back
see
right now.
Roger somewhere in the
So
top
Chandler
10
Smith picks
for
up
at
the
least
second
portions
spot.
of
Look
the
at Lane
race.
Riggs on the bottom.
And then
Two
there'll be
really
one or
stout
two Cup
Fords.
drivers in the
We
other
watched
Spire
them
trucks.
beat players
And
week in
they,
and week out.
I'm not sure
They're
why
gonna
it
be players again
is,
here
but
tonight.
they just never
Michael, you talk.
take the time to give Roger a hand. Maybe I'm just biased and that's what I'm looking for, but they really don't.
No.
Kyle Busch cut Roger no slack at Atlanta. Did not work with him in the slightest. And here you see Carson doing him the same way.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, what the deal with that is, but there's something I'm not understanding.
Oh no, we've been suspended for policy violations. What the hell?
For what?
Policy violations is what it says. Uh-oh, we've been canceled?
Well, that didn't take long.
Huh, it doesn't say that there is on YouTube. Like on the actual thing. Hold on. Huh. Well, what the hell, Wes?
I don't know.
Alright, well. Still recording, so fuck it, I'm just gonna pull this down here and we'll go from here. We'll just record it and put it up. I'll have to cut all this out, but it's okay. Can you see my screen at least?
Yeah.
Alright. This was the pit stop to end stage 2. Now, I think you're going to have some pit problems here. From the 11, it ends up having a gun that breaks. You can see it right here in the corner. They have to jack it up to get the right front back on there. Get another gun out there.
Yeah. Impact just completely breaks off.
I don't know how that happens, but front changer ends up having to go put the tire on for the back. And that's going to be the end of Corey Heim's night.
They keep putting them athletes, these big, strong, fast, crazy athletes on a pit cruise, and I reckon that man just jammed the pit onto the first like nut on the wheel and broke it off. Probably trying to haul ass. Bam, broke it.
Yeah. Then the story of the night is this boy eating his ribs.
This little Wayman.
He's having a good time, man. He's enjoying his life. His little I Heart Trucks sticker, eating him some gribs. They showed this guy like 6 times on the broadcast. It was the most exciting thing that was happening that night. Then here we go, coming out of pit cycles in the last stage, and you're going to see your boy Malcolm in the middle of the infield. This pretty much seals the race for Carson Hocevar.
Yeah, because what this causes, see Hocevar barely making it in and kept it within speed regulation, I guess. Locking the tires up.
Locking them up to get down to pit road speed. Still on the lead lap. The 07 up there in the oval that you can see is the leader. And there goes Frankie Muniz spinning out into the infield to bring out a caution and trap the entire field a lap down.
Yeah, and since Carson Hocevar is in the pits currently, when the caution comes out, the field is frozen while Carson Hocevar is still in the lead.
Yeah.
So then what that again causes is every car that had just got their lap back will get a wave around. Yeah. And when he comes back out on the track, whoever he's in front of, he'll stay in front of with perfectly fresh tires and a new full tank of fuel.
It almost looked like his teammate and William Byron slowed down so that Carson Hocevar could beat him to the blend line and not be trapped a lap down too. But it's probably what you want out of your teammate, but nobody did it for damn Raja all night.
Yeah.
And that leads us to the finish right here. Lane Riggs catching Carson Hocevar, actually chasing him down.
He does run him down.
He did a good job ripping the wall.
Yeah. Got to him.
Yeah, we're going to drive it in here deep. He says, you're a Cup Series driver, and this is for points for me. So if I got to move you, guess what? We just moving and gave it a good attempt.
Yeah, unfortunately, a guy self sideways.
Yeah, now we get both of them into the wall. Carson gets it straightened back out. And he's going to sell off the victory lane. He's going to tell him he's number one on the way there. Before he even gets to the start-finish line, he's got the bird out the window.
Yeah, I think you said it. Little uncalled for. It's kind of punching down in a way. You don't have to give Lane Riggs the finger. You're not even, you're above this. You're above this. Wow. I was giving him the finger. And then again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
2 times.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Like, that man ran you down from a while back.
Well, number one.
And none of it matters because Lane Riggs ends up getting disqualified in post-race inspection. Which moves
sad.
William Byron up to second, Corey Hyman third. So I guess it's better for Lane Riggs that he didn't win. He didn't have to win and then vacate the win to Carson.
Not only did the Frankie Muniz caution completely steal the deal for Carson Hocevar, there was also a caution that came out after Corey Haim got a penalty, and when he came in to serve his penalty, caution came out. Perfect timing for Corey Haim.
Yeah, it's crazy how that always works out.
A little suspicious.
Crazy how that works out, isn't it?
Corey Haim comes to serve a green flag penalty and stays on the lead lap due to a caution.
Yeah. That was
a little fishy to me, but.
So, trucks deliver again, though, 2 weeks in a row of crazy good truck race.
Not the results I wanted to see, really. I mean, I'm glad Roger got some stage points, but not thinking about like what happened all to Roger. To be fair, the truck race was awesome. They raced the shit out of each other all night. It was great to watch.
Yeah.
Trucks delivering again.
Yeah, really
2 weeks in a row, badass racing.
Yeah, I'll stand by our comments from last week that if you want to watch the best racing on the weekends, it's the truck race. It's been like that last week. It's like that again this week.
Yep. for sure. I don't. For now, I'm gonna just say it's just a mile and a half that the trucks are putting on these crazy shows. But we'll see what happens going forward, or at the other, intermediates, short tracks.
Yeah, but then I got a game for you, Wes. It's a little segment I snuck in there for you called Hot and Cold. So I picked 3 people that have been having a rough season and 3 people that have been having a good season. And I was going to,
Okay.
through the weekends, we're just going to track them as if they're getting hotter or if they're getting colder. So
All right.
I started off with Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, and Ryan Blaney on my cold side. Larson Bell Byron on my hot side.
Okay.
So the closer you are to the hot side, you red hot, ice cold. I don't think there's any denying that Keselowski is as cold as you can get right now.
As cold as you can possibly get. Uh, well, the problem with Bubba Wallace and Keselowski being all the way to the right is both of them were extremely fast on Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
But
I got Bubba a little bit off from it. He's not as cold as Keselowski, but
well, Keselowski was faster
yeah,
than Bubba
yeah.
Sunday.
But he didn't finish again.
Neither one of them did. So I guess at the end they're both ice cold for the finish, but they both had crazy fast cars.
And then Ryan
Who's in the
Blaney.
middle here?
Ryan Blaney. So we started cold. The last 2 races, we're getting to the hotter side. Still not great. We're not all the way hot yet.
I think Ryan Blaney is suffering from okay, I've rigged and blew up and had awful luck. Let's just finish some races. And I think you're going to see, even for the next 2, maybe 3 races. How many races we got to the playoffs start?
Ooh, it's a good little bit to the playoffs, I think. This is our halfway point. We'll be going to the All-Star race next week.
I think Ryan Blaney for the next 2 or 3 points races will just be looking for fair finishes. Get the race car to the checkered flag on the lead lap and maybe earn some stage points.
Yeah,
I think that's all you're going to be looking to see out of Ryan Blaney.
the playoffs start August 31st at Darlington, so we're a pretty good ways
Okay.
away from that.
Yeah, I think Ryan Blaney's just going to be looking to keep his position, and then if he has a winning car, winning opportunity, I believe, of course, he'll take it. But I don't believe you're going to see some intense, heated, bumper rubbing battles out of Ryan Blaney for a few races.
No,
He'll be looking to just finish.
I think we're trying to get top fives, but we'll settle for top tens. Let's just keep a car on the track.
Yep.
And then William Byron started off pretty red hot, but trending cold these last couple of weeks. Tough 2 weeks for him.
Yeah, the tire going down Sunday probably. I think Byron is kind of like a similar boat around Blaney, like we're crazy high on points, got some dubs already, like we're straight until the playoffs start. So just don't overdo it with the car and don't battle too hard for position. Like let's just have some good races. And then it's had an unfortunate tire thing Sunday.
Yeah.
And who's all the way to the left?
Kyle Larson.
And who?
Christopher Bell.
So Larson, I feel like anytime this man gets out front, it's almost a wrap. The man is just a freak, and I feel like it's kind of a trendy discussion whenever he wins a race that he's just greatest of all time and stuff like that, which is that's a good argument for that. But
He's
it does feel
definitely-
like it's like a trend, a trendy thing to talk about him being the best.
He's probably the only driver that isn't on the change the Gen 7 bandwagon, He probably wouldn't be mad if it changed, but he's also like, I got this thing figured out on a mile and a half. If y'all keep it the same, I'm just going to continue to dominate.
Yeah. I mean, he's also not slow ever.
No, no.
And Christopher Bale, I'll let you say what you think about him first.
I mean, 3 wins in a row. 3 different types of tracks. Ran second this week. Just feel like the kid's good. The people from dirt track backgrounds, when it comes to these slick mile-and-a-half tracks where you can run multiple grooves, they seem to be the cars to beat.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. I don't know much about Christopher Bale's like dirt track background. That was actually a new bit of information for me this weekend. But man is also it's right there with Larson in my eyes. Another freak, young up and coming like superstar. Everybody, all the broadcasters and different people talk about him like he's an aspiring leader in the sport. I can see it.
Yeah,
Man is really good. Doesn't doesn't flop on interviews. Like I can see it.
yeah, he's good. He always says the right thing. He's definitely holding it down for Joe Gibbs Racing. If outside of Denny, I don't know of any other Joe Gibbs guys that are really having an awesome season. Tyler Reddick struggled all year. Bubba's not doing anything, which I mean, guess that's 23-11. It's Joe Gibbs equipment though.
It's
Uh,
crazy in the Cup Series, the push and pull of people. You see like crazy outbursts of speed from different teams, different drivers, like Kozlowski and Bubba yesterday. You see crazy bursts of speed where they just look like they're coming to the front. They're running the fastest lap times. They're making big passes, big moves, looking skillful, and then they just get hit with like tragedy. Same with Denny Hamlin.
yeah,
They were preaching he had the fastest car on the track so many times on Sunday just to burn up a damn transaxle or whatever.
clutch. Yeah, bad clutch. It's not good at all for JGR. They gotta get it figured out here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear this or not, Liz, but this was like the very beginning of the race, the broadcast. Chris Buescher, or not Chris Buescher, damn, Clint Boyer actually called Kyle Larson Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch.
And then at the end of it, Larson calls him Jamie McMurray, kind of chirping back at him about it. But I think
Funny.
I think Clint Boyer was drunk from being in his hometown and down there in the infield. He stumbled all the way through this interview. But I think I don't know. Larson's just got it figured out. He doesn't ever say the wrong thing. It's like perfect interviews.
No. So to me, Larson is just like Austin Cindric with about double the raw talent. Like this man, brain does nothing but race. He's another one that has the SpongeBob fine dining effect. Like his brain does nothing but compute racing, and then but he wins and has a lot of character in his driving style. It's like notorious for running the top and all this stuff. So it doesn't matter really what he says in interviews as long as he's safe in what he says. I mean, he's had a few little things lately to cause a little bit of ruckus in the NASCAR community. Talking about embarrassing the Xfinity drivers and all that. But I feel like the man is so good, he can say what he wants to,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is.
Yeah, I think this is the Kansas that everybody thought we were getting coming into this. Last year, .001, closest finish in NASCAR history. And it's not the finish that we got. It's not the NASCAR Kansas race that we got.
New, quite a different gap from first to second from that race to this one.
Yeah, this is a list of all the people that had trouble in practice with tires and had to go to the rear. I want you to keep your eye on some of these names out here. This Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, Josh Berry to be particular. As we seen that going to the back wasn't necessarily the worst thing in the world for them. They were able to work through the field pretty good and get to the front.
Yeah, you would have thought a few of these teams would have learned from the tire trouble just in practice. But I guess at a certain point, you got to roll the dice. Hope
Yeah,
that maybe the tire that got put on the race car on race day was maybe a little tougher than the one you had at practice. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I understand messing with the pressure, trying to get the car as low as possible, make it faster, because it's one of the only things that you can change in this Gen 7. But I don't know. It ended up being a story all day in the Cup Series race too. Tire problems.
Well, it's also, if you drop the air pressure in a tire, it makes it, you immediately going to have more grip because
Hmm.
it's gonna be spongier to the racing surface. But you can also tear pieces off that tire a lot easier with it uh, lower in air pressure.
Yeah, as you see right here with William Byron being one of those teams that experimented with some low tire pressure, had a tire go down and get into the wall. I believe he was near the front when this happened too. Definitely in the top 10, maybe even in the top 5.
Yeah, he was running up front.
And yeah, just one of
I think it was funny. We both hit that. No, Junebug.
those. Yeah. Oh no, Junebug. Daryl Waltrip. Yeah, it's tough. It's my driver, but at least we're safe in the points. Did lose the points
Yeah,
lead, but still locked into the playoffs.
yeah, for sure.
But you'd think after drivers see one tire go down, the teams would be like, hey man, maybe don't put it as flat as you possibly can.
It's funny. They was talking about it in the broadcast. Goodyear recommends 20. What did they say? 22
In
pounds.
the left and 44 in the right, I believe is what they said.
And I believe they said that these drivers were dropping it well below 20 in the right rear.
Yeah,
So like less than half the air.
at Martinsville they run it
That,
pretty much flat. Left side tires to start like all the way flat. But I mean, it's not as big of a deal at Martinsville. You're just looking for grip. Here, it's slick. You're sliding. You're gonna eat up more of that tire. And that's the end of stage 1. Kyle Larson, you'll see that a lot. Chase Elliott, I think, surprised a lot of people and was able to run up front.
he had a fast car. Something I think he had issues at the end, but before that, he's running up front a lot of the race.
Those drivers that I said that started in the back to watch, Josh Berry was able to work his way up to 12. Got
He's fast too.
Keselowski in 15th, Briscoe in 17th. So even though they started in the rear, they were able to work themselves up to the top 20 in the first stage. And I know me and you talked about it during the race. It looked like Brad Keselowski and Josh Berry they were in a rocket ship of a car.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember seeing it, but Josh Berry ended up getting they weren't specific of the penalty, but he did get a penalty in pit road, probably for speeding. Maybe they just glazed over it too fast or something in the broadcast. But Josh Berry got a penalty in pit road, so he had to go back to the back again and once again drove it up to ninth or 10th, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that was right here at the end of stage 1. He had to go and serve a penalty for yeah, they didn't say what it was. The broadcast was kind of awful, actually. Like, I know there was a lot of times when me and you called things out way before the broadcast even mentioned it or brought it up. It was kind of like, what are you guys doing? Is it just the last race for you guys so you don't care, or what? But
Well, I feel like they didn't really have a veteran broadcaster up in the booth. It was Jamie Little, Kevin Harvick,
No,
Clint Boyer?
Mike Joy was in there for the Cup Series.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought it was Jamie Little.
Jamie Little was the Truck Series.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm stupid.
Remember the Truck? It was Jamie Little and Brad Keselowski and somebody else, and then the Cup. They had Mike Joy up there. It just seemed like they're ready for vacation. Like, look, this is the only real race. We got the All-Star race, and then the broadcast switches to Prime.
Yep. That's gonna be interesting to see. Hey, if they run less full screen ads,
Well, that's the thing.
I
I
don't
don't
care.
think Amazon Prime has ads or commercials, does it? I think it might be nonstop racing.
Well, if that's the case, I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be in favor of it. I hate the full screen ads.
Yeah.
Really takes the focus away from the racing, and it could be many times Sunday. Like there was stuff that I was really trying to pay attention to and see what happens, what plays out, and they run the commercial, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm coming back to.
Yeah, I don't want to see full ads in races. Any sport that has nonstop action in it, I don't want to see ads. I like when they do the side by sides. I get it. You need your revenue. You got to run commercials, but don't give me ads, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I could see like somebody on the fence about being a NASCAR full time invested fan, and like you're on the fence about it, and you tune into a race and you're getting hyped up and you're starting to think, oh man, I could really get into this. I love racing, and then you got 4 or 5 minutes straight of ads. Like, I think I'm gonna go watch.
Yeah.
I don't know,
And
Formula One or something, IndyCar racing instead.
it was pretty rough to watch. I thought it was an altogether bad broadcast, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I'm not the only one that thought that last week or this week at Kansas. It was awful. Here is our Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch going back to Homestead commercial.
I do. I'm full support of this commercial. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I like the jab that we took at Denny in here too.
That's funny. Like that in there. I'm sure he's okay with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a running joke among the seasoned Cup drivers.
Yeah, Denny's well aware that he hasn't won a championship yet.
I built this bad boy to take you wherever you want to go, including the future.
Cool to see that NASCAR is doing some, old school advertising still. These are the type of commercials I remember seeing as a youngin' with Junior and Jimmy Johnson and Gordon and whoever they could get. They had them doing, like stuff with different sponsors and television commercials. I don't know. I love to see it. These guys can't act and they don't belong in Hollywood at all, and that's what makes it great. It's great because it sucks.
Yeah, I agree. And like before, you could walk into anywhere and see NASCAR stuff. Now it's rare. So anytime I see NASCAR getting commercials like this, I will take it.
Yeah, anything. This is what we want. NASCAR, if you're hearing this, give us more. All the drivers. They don't even care who it is. Put Joey's dumbass in a commercial so we can laugh at him.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I'll even like if you put Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano's bucktooth having ass in there, I'll support it. Doesn't matter to me.
Don't care.
But what about the championship?
But what about the championship? Oh yeah, we going back to Homestead, which I love, by the way. Please take us anywhere but Phoenix.
Homestead, since playing iRacing, Homestead has become like one of my favorite tracks to watch on TV for sure. The racing there is intense, it's multi-groove, it's hot track. Like, it's great. It's fun to watch. That's the most entertaining style of racing still to this day, I believe, and it's been like that for tons of years. So I'm
Yeah.
happy to see it go back to Homestead.
Yeah, for sure. I like to see the rotating championship race. Maybe we'll even get one at Bristol with like this, the rotating.
Shit, maybe. Uh, I'm more for like traditional mile and a half. Let's see Homestead, Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Uh,
I absolutely do not want to see a super speedway or a road course for a championship race. Please no, that's
no, shit,
awful.
no,
And I'm
shit, no.
and I'm the only super speedway enjoyer on the planet. So for me to say it, it's bad. Like please do not ruin the championship by putting it on a super speedway. I'm sure Daytona would sell out. You'd make $1 billion from it, but it's just not good for the sport to do that.
Well, it would probably be good for the sport, not good for the drivers, and not good for the for the
Well,
I don't
it's
know,
good for
old
the
seasoned fans.
it's good for the wallet of the sport. It's not good for the integrity of the sport.
Yeah, there you go. That's a better way to put it. I like that.
Yeah. And here, this is the pit cycle at the end of stage 2, or at the beginning of stage 2. Race off of pit road. There was some,
Larson's crew.
yeah, there was some good, there was some good races off of pit road this time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 3 different pit cycles under at 2 of them at stage in, and I'm pretty sure Larson lost the race off of pit road 3 times during this race under yellow.
Yeah,
Whether it be a stage end or a caution.
I think that he ends up losing it right here too, unless this is the one that Chase Elliott ends up having trouble. It is not. So yeah, I think Larson ends up losing the race off of pit road, even though he has the best pit stall. Elliott's already out before Larson even makes it there.
Yeah, so some of these crews was really busting ass to try to get position on pit road, and I hate to say it, but battles on pit road has actually become damn interesting to me. I like watching to see how. Oh no, Larson did get out first on this one.
Yeah. And
But it's fun to watch them fight to see who gets off pit road first. I never thought of this as a big deal, but it's one of the more interesting parts of the Cup race now.
yeah, I really enjoy it, and I also like the just the speed in which it happens. I know from when we were a kid, they were still 5-lug, so it was the what you call it, for them to be able to do it in 9 seconds under sub 10-second pit stop, 4 tires and fuel. It's still wild to me to see that.
Yeah, I think used to, and like even as recent as like early 2000s, they were still having like 16-second pit stops, maybe 18, maybe
Yeah.
something like that. It was still way slow compared to today. I don't think that's just the single lug tires neither. I think it's all been reformed and like enhanced in the pit box.
Yeah, we were watching it earlier today on Tubi, watching the old NASCAR races, and they're in no hurry to change tires and fuel on there. They're on vacation.
Yeah, a lot of times you see, like in the 80s, you see a driver get out of the car on a routine pit stop. Get out of the car. Take a breather. Take his helmet off.
This is where they're telling Denny about how the pit stops are going to work now that he doesn't have a clutch. I thought that was pretty cool. Them to tell him, hey, we're going to pull you. You slam it in gear and try to get out of here. And if that doesn't work, put it in second and use the starter.
That says a lot about his damn, whoever's making them calls on his team to put together that plan for him. I wonder if Denny knew already what he had to do, or if that was like all news to him. I mean, I'm sure he's been through a similar situation before, right?
Yeah, I think so. Here's the problem with the 9. Oh, Jackman falls. I remember calling that out and it not being on the broadcast too, and it slowed his pit stop down. It's going to cause him to get leapfrogged for the lead. Jackman falls down and working his way from the left to the right side.
Now, Ray, you see Ryan Blaney's coming out of the pits while Kyle Larson comes in. And I think at this point in the race, everybody's thinking if Ryan Blaney gets out in front of Kyle Larson, his race is over.
Yeah. And here's Denny. You'll see him. I like the front tire changer. Doesn't even waste time to go push the car. He's like pulling it.
He's pulling it from the left front.
Yeah, everybody else is pushing. He's pulling it from the left front. I'm not.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah. He made a couple of pit stops like this before that clutch finally just gave up on him.
I think he did. Actually, I believe this is the only one he succeeded. I'm pretty sure the next one was.
The next one was at stage end, wasn't it? And he couldn't get it out of pit lane.
Well, I think they had to push that thing onto the garage.
There's your end of stage 2 results. Larson back out front, and then those cars that we were talking about watching. Look, Josh Berry but he was in 12th at the end of stage 1. Had to go all the way to the back again. Drove it back to 4th. Brad Keselowski up to
Josh
6th.
Berry. I'm pretty sure a shit ton of fans wanted to see Josh Berry get up there and see what he could do in the front, but penalty after penalty, or I don't know. I feel like he never got a chance to really start out and race up there. Did he not get a penalty after, like, on this cycle and then ended up having to go back right here?
Something does happen to him. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know that he ended up having to go to the back a couple of times, I think. Maybe it was just a slow stop. Maybe it was a penalty. I couldn't keep it straight, but it was an awful day for Josh Berry.
Yeah, to have such a freakishly fast car. I can't remember exactly what it was. There was a few details during the race where he's talking about Josh Berry is another guy that I think he's just a freak at mile and a halfs. Equipment aside, I believe he just has a handle on this car at a mile and a half better than 90% of these drivers.
Yeah, he's been strong, man. He's strong at Vegas. You've seen he clearly had a car to maybe contest Kyle Larson for the win. I think Chase Elliott did too. It's just pit troubles screwed him up. Keselowski was in a rocket ship. Tire trouble.
Yeah, Elliott had a good car. I was excited for Elliott fans.
Yeah.
I don't care much for Elliott myself.
Nah, the quote unquote most popular driver. I don't know one Chase Elliott fan, by the way.
I mean, that's fine. I don't either. But, I was excited for Chase Elliott fans to see their driver put on a good show today. But I believe he had a massive fall off somewhere along near the end of the race.
Yeah, he has trouble on pit road somewhere. I remember that part. But it was cool to see Josh Berry and Brad Keselowski get up there and do their thing, be competitive again. Keselowski for the first time.
Kyle Busch was fast too.
Yeah.
They were moving up through the field together. That's what was cool to me. We had just talked about the commercial that they were in together, and then they were like moving through the field together, like almost as a couple, and it was cool to see that.
I think this is the pit stop you're going to see Elliott have some trouble on. I think they dropped the jack before the right rear is on. Oh, okay, wrong again. Okay, don't even worry about it. One of these pit stops, he messes up he has problems on the right rear and has to come back in, or they have to go back and jack the car up. This might be the pit stop that he beats Larson off of pit road.
See him right there in front of Blaney.
Yeah, 10.2 second stop, 10.2 for Larson, and yeah, beats him off by a little bit.
Inches him out. And they were talking about they've standardized the pit lane exit. This right here.
Yeah, they moved it up some.
They were talking like Larson didn't know where the
Yeah.
where
Well,
the line was.
right.
Sure he does. Sure he's well aware.
You would think so.
So thanks Toyota for providing us with more green flag coverage here.
But maybe
from
not. Maybe
Kansas
they were right.
with Toyota all out.
Maybe Larson's never raced there before. Maybe he didn't win last year.
74 laps to go, and it looks like Brad
I think this is the
Keselowski
Brad
making some
Keselowski
small
wreck.
inroads on Chase Elliott's lead. Look at that.
Trying to remember my clips in order here. I didn't write notes this time. I'm bad at this game. Yep, here it is. Brad Keselowski chasing down Chase Elliott for the win, for the lead, and gets loose and gets into the wall. Loses right rear tire. Had a right rear tire go down.
Right rear going down, keeping up pressure so low, and he just finally shredded it. And he was flying right before this. Everybody was so excited.
Yeah.
See Brad P. Or not Brad P. Brad Keselowski do a good job.
Made me ultra sad
And-
for him.
Yep, they do.
I wanted to see Keselowski at least have a chance for a win, especially the season that he's been having. It's been a rough stretch of races for him.
During that commercial, they said that in the future, Brad Keselowski was going to be a car owner. Does he already own a team?
Yeah.
Or is this?
Yeah, you see RFK on there. That's his team. It's let's see, I know it's him and Ryan Preece. I don't know if they have another car or not.
Oh, that's cool. And I like when drivers like that coming up on the end of their driving career and they're having a rough season, but they stay.
Yeah.
They do something.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Yeah, you
Makes me respect drivers more.
You could tell as hard as he drove it into that turn too that he had no indication that tire was about to give up. It just went. Trying to fly too close to the sun on our tire pressure.
Yeah, paints the wall purple.
With the car that you called ugly, that's the Macho Man.
I don't like that shade of purple on race cars.
I thought it was alright. It's not my favorite Brad K scheme, but it does suck for Brad Keselowski.
Whatever the last paint scheme, I feel like it was like a, what color was that car? It was like a,
Is it the
shade of
buildsubmarines.com
blue,
car? Yeah, it might have been a Kroger's car. Yeah, he does have a blue Kroger's car.
maybe. I don't know, I like the previous paint scheme more than this one.
And this is another pit road battle. I think this is the one that Denny doesn't make it off. So he made it through two. This is the nail in the coffin for Denny. And this is the right rear. Yep, see, you got to bring the jack back for Chase Elliott. Get the right rear secure on the car. And you'll see Denny not being able to pull out.
Yep, and drops it in gear, and when they go to in car, you can hear him just shred that thing.
Yeah, the in car sounded like the electric pencil sharpeners at school. You know, when you'd shove the pencil in that thing. It was not a good noise we were making.
It just sounded like a blender full of lug nuts. It was not pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, Chase Elliott ended up with a 14.2 second stop, which is not good. Not
Look,
going to
and
cut
like we
it.
said a while ago, Larson gets beat off of pit road again.
Yeah.
Christopher Bell.
And this is the,
But we do know.
I think, what was this, we were talking about the top line being so weak.
Restarts, you have to push, you have to shove. And these guys know, getting towards the end.
Oh, on restarts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see Christopher Bell actually give Kyle Larson a bump. And you would have thought that the 2 and the 12, or the 22 and the 12 would have done the same thing, being teammates, but didn't.
Look, I did. So what Larson did on this restart, and I think there's one more, right?
Yeah, the hand out the
No.
window. Yeah, there's one more.
I think-
With
Oh
the,
yeah. So there's another one right after this, I think.
look at Kyle Busch save that
Caution
thing.
out. Oh yeah, look at the difference. How does Kyle Busch keep this car off the inside wall and like not touch any walls compared to Robusto, whatever, in the ARCA race? How's he do such a good job compared to her?
Yeah, I'll go back and
Keeping
show
the car on
it
the wall.
after this one. I'll go back and show the Robusto, and we'll compare them because Kyle Busch took a bump that he didn't even know was coming, and it happened a lot faster than the Robusto one, and he was able to save it. Just needs to get pushed out of the grass because his tires are flat. She knew it was like seen it, you know. Oh, I'm loose. Oh, I'm trying to save it. Oh, I'm loose. And still wasn't able to spin it around before it hit the wall. They tried to put this on Josh Berry, but I don't think this was his fault.
Watch this. Bounce, bounce, hit him.
Hey, it looks like he's as tight to Chastain as he could be.
Yeah. Then they came back later and said they thought Chastain swerved down the track at him because he didn't like being crowded by the wall. You kind of see him do it a little bit here. Right. Yeah, I mean...
That's just Ford drivers not wanting to give up anything. I don't think it's anybody's fault, really.
But this Kyle Busch save is, it's veteran driver moves. You can tell he knows exactly what to do in that situation.
Yeah.
Didn't hit the wall. He's going to lose a lap.
And I promise you, if that car, if he didn't think that car was going to rotate back the other way, like if it wasn't going to spin back, you know, clockwise, he would have just been in the brakes.
Yeah. Here's the bump that you like. Well, actually, yeah, this is the bump that you like from the teammates right here of Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson.
Well, Larson does the same like technique. He kind of checks up just a little bit to get more of a bump than he would have got, and then guns it off of the bump.
Yeah, they're
and that's
talking
how
about
he's
him.
Able to clear the outside pole.
They're talking about him going late in the box, and it was messing up people on the top line.
Yeah. So mess him up. You're the control car. If you're not doing anything to maintain control, you're not doing it right. I don't think.
And it's good that you have a teammate behind you right here too. Doesn't hurt things for sure. You're gonna see him slow down. Pow! Get the bump, and then use it as like a trampoline off of his bumper. That's Chase Briscoe making it 3 wide on the inside.
Oh no, he didn't get quite as good of a restart there.
No, I think he gets one more. Oh, this is the Corey Haim wreck. That's what this is. He did get a good restart. Was able to keep it out front. Not as good as it has been. I think they run it in here 4 wide, and this is going to take Bubba Wallace out, Justin Haley. I'm trying to remember who else got caught in this. Might have just been those two.
A lot of right front damage on Bubba Wallace here.
They tried to put it on my boy Haim time. I'm not completely convinced that it was his fault, but you know. I think it's one of those cases of we ran out of track.
Yeah. I think Corey Haim at this point, he's like, I want to stay in this race, and I'm getting more comfortable. It's been a long day, but I've been learning this whole time where y'all have been fighting, and now I'm ready to hold my ground. I'm ready to not get bullied by you guys anymore.
Yeah, and then you see, you see it right here. Kind of, yeah, I mean, he gets into the 7, but he also has nowhere to go.
And it's also 4 wide. Like, I mean, when something happens 4 wide, I don't think I'm putting any blame on anybody.
Nah.
Because something is going to happen. You know that when you agree to be 4 wide, which, you know, granted you probably don't have a choice in the matter.
Right.
And you can't just check up and let everybody go. Then you lose 4 or 5 more spots for people that are not willing to check up.
It is a hard.
You, so.
Bubba Wallace took a hard hit into the wall. His car was completely toasted.
Yep. And he was fast. He was fast during the race too.
Eric Jones looks like he's just on a Sunday drive.
And Corey Haim.
There's Corey Haim's POV. Hey, he's running that groove. He doesn't, I mean, he moves up a little bit, but it ain't a lot. He can't go down. It's just always
Yeah,
this
there
one.
was, you can't see it from that camera angle, but he did have a guy on his inside.
Yeah, it's Nemechek. He's right here. The inside.
Oh, not good.
It's a good job by Michael McDowell to get through there.
Yeah, and I think what started that was Corey Heim. The nose took off on.
And Justin Haley, he drove it all the way to the pits in reverse.
That's what started that whole wreck.
He's damn Toe Mater. He's the world's best backwards driver.
He done sure did, all the way there, in reverse.
Not that it matters, because you can go ahead and put that thing in the garage, but just the fact that he could do it.
From the driver's seat, he doesn't know how badly damaged
Yeah.
that car is, or whether or not they can make repairs.
Yeah,
but he wants to
look how far he drives this thing in
back
reverse.
out on the racetrack. And that's a lot better than if they have to pick him up.
Shit, the way he's been driving lately, he might want to try racing in reverse.
Not a bad idea.
I don't think I could drive that thing down pit road in reverse and into my pit stall.
It was about 30 minutes ago. There was a lot of concern about fuel. We have only realistically barely run.
Well, my day is going to start off.
Yep, gonna put her up, cuz.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
We're going to get another restart of...
You probably won't even make it.
All right, now I think this restart looks like that first Kyle Larson restart where he slows up to get the bump and takes full advantage of it and just kind of shoots out.
Yeah, you can see his hand out the window telling Bowman when he's going to go. Bowman, yeah, that's a good trampoline right there. Big bump.
Already clear second place.
Yeah, big bump.
It's funny, I seen this and I remembered it, and I was racing official Kansas last night, and I had to lead on a couple restarts, and I did this same thing. I mean, I couldn't wave out the window, but I slowed up right coming up to the Geico restart zone, slowed up just enough to get the guy in third to get really close to me, and then punched it.
Yeah.
That always works really good on restarts.
Yeah.
On the game.
And then this is the Kyle Larson schedule for this month. This is damn jam-packed.
Indy 500, Hollow, or the All-Star race. Like so just this man is busy. He's not just sitting on all this money he's winning and vacationing or bullshitting around. This man is working.
Yeah, he says I'm going to be in some kind of car somewhere doing something. I'm hoping for good weather so that we get to see him run the double, the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 in the same day.
Yeah.
Because you can guarantee that Rick Hendricks is going to have the planes and helicopters on standby, waiting to get him from one place to the next.
Yep. Get the most important person to the racetrack. He's got to be here.
Yeah. What's the chances that he wins the All-Star race this weekend?
I don't know. The All-Star race is going to be interesting. Not a points-paying race. So, I don't know. You might see some of your less developed teams making some crazy calls just to try to win some money. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like
I
them.
haven't watched a full All-Star race in a long time. I don't really know what the trend is for them, so I'm excited to watch it myself.
Oh yeah, and we'll get to watch a Cars Tour race before that.
Oh, you said Junior and Harvick's gonna be in the booth for that one, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. I think that series should get some love. I bet you there's way more talent and way better racing product watching them guys than there is in the damn ARCA series.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would venture to say it's going to be a much better race for sure, because that I don't want to sit here and keep bashing ARCA, but it was awful, Les. It was not a good product this weekend at all.
I'm gonna keep bashing them until we see a good race. They did perfectly fine when we watched them in person at Bristol. Are these guys only short track drivers? Like, is that the only place where they know how to really get busy in the ARCA series? Is at short tracks? Because everywhere else that I've watched, they just don't look like they're really talented drivers. I mean, I know that's probably not right. They're probably most of us probably not in there for no reason, but what they end up looking like is awful.
Yeah, yeah, it's not good. That was the end of the race. Kyle Larson ends up leading 221 laps and winning. I just put little asterisks next to some of the stuff that caught my eye from the race. You know, Kyle Larson absolutely dominating. Chase Briscoe starting from the back, strong performance. Josh Berry started from the back, ended up driving it to sixth. Should have finished better than that. Honest, started from the back like 4 different times and drove it to the front.
Yeah, good shit on Josh Berry. I always happy for that dude when he has a good finish, good car, good
Then
race.
tap your wrist Heim time in 13th as a developmental driver. It's
Corey Heim. We said before when we was talking about that when I first learned of him racing at Kansas, like, man, if he could just get that thing in the top like 15 and not be involved or not crash the car and still get a top 15, like that's perfect. And he got 13, which is exactly what he needed, exactly what he should have done.
yeah.
Like that's perfect priming somebody for a cup ride.
And the race was not easy for him. You could tell he was just figuring it out as he went. He's a lap down for most of the race. Was able to get it back on the lead lap and keep it there. Top 15 finish. I'm sure that Denny Hamlin will take that all day long for a developmental driver.
Hell yeah. If I was him, bring him back.
Yeah.
Hurry. On the double. Bring him back. More races, please.
Yeah.
Victory
It's
of the season.
I imagine in
Christopher Bell for the most
2,
of all
3
drivers.
years, maybe
Bell
4,
got so close.
Kyle Larson starting to come off of this dominance maybe. I believe in our life, well, definitely in our lifetime, we see a race, them two side by side, two freaks of the bunch fighting for wins.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see it. Also, Ryan Preece.
Well,
Good
he's got
finish.
a lot of opportunities ahead of him to get some more. So
Yep, and he didn't wreck the car.
Able to keep
Kept
it out of the
tires
sky.
on the,
Yeah.
kept the tires on the racetrack.
Yeah,
Good job, Ryan Priest.
I feel like that's what is what Brad tells him every time before they go out there. Look, buddy, it's not a kite. Let's keep it on the ground this race. Because you're real good at not doing that.
Yeah, Ryan Priest says, put some wings on this car and I keep it in the air for longer.
Yep. I think these people are tired of seeing Kyle Larson do burnouts. By these people, I mean the rest of the NASCAR drivers.
You know you're in big trouble. That car was
I think
extremely
so.
fast, an absolute dominant
I
day.
think it's really frustrating for these guys. Let's see, the same dude everyone expects to win actually wins. I'm sure that is super frustrating for everybody else in the Cup Series.
Yeah, it's got to be.
There's not. I don't feel like there's any oval that they go to. I don't feel like you're ever counting this guy out as potentially not gonna win. It's always
He's
a chance this man wins.
He's an alien.
An alien, yeah.
And I know I was talking to you earlier about how much I hate the Kansas Trophy. Take a look at that thing. That's what you win.
Where's it at?
That is the Kansas Trophy. I mean, how much? I don't know if you could make it any more underwhelming of a trophy.
I still can't see it. Hold on, let me grab my glasses. Nope, still can't see it.
The prime can is almost as tall as the trophy.
Is that really it, man?
That's it. That is the trophy you get for winning Kansas. And a smoker. You do get a smoker.
I do think that's cool. That fits the whole, getting a guitar and getting the clock and stuff. I like getting the idea of getting something that you're gonna use at your house. That's pretty cool.
Sure. But you know what I don't want? A bell and a stick with a cashew on the top of it.
Yeah, we pass on that.
It's awful.
Motorsports trophies are supposed to be overwhelmingly large or impressive. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Like,
there's so many good trophies in NASCAR for Kansas to be like, you know what? We'll make this thing for $37, and this is what you get.
yeah,
If
my
some,
damn league trophy bigger than that
I was
shit.
just getting ready to say, if you were like, you can have this trophy from a real life NASCAR race, or this one that I won in a damn iRacing league, I'd probably be like, well, let me get that iRacing league trophy.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see that trophy, the Kansas trophy, on my mantle somewhere. They'd be like, oh, did you win a damn spelling bee or something in school?
Is that a participation award
Yeah.
for volunteer firefighting?
Yeah. Yeah. What hopscotch tournament did you finish 18th in?
Yeah, yeah.
That's bad. I
Hey,
don't like it. We could have done a much better job than that.
right.
You got the Bristol sword. You got a Martinsville grandfather clock.
Yeah, I love the clock.
The Dover trophy is an actual monster. Then you
Which
get
one is the guitar?
Nashville.
Nashville. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that shit.
And
That's
then
cool.
you get a stick and a cashew if you win Kansas.
What's Vegas? Is it like a roulette table wheel or something?
I want to say it's like a Texas Hold'em thing. It's like a skull with some cards beside it.
I remember I liked it. I can't remember exactly what it was though at Vegas. Josh Berry got that thing
Yeah.
sitting somewhere in his house.
Yeah. Kyle Larson might have just left that trophy at the track and just been like, you know what, just keep it. That's pretty bad.
But other than a trophy not being bad, the race, I mean, cup races, they suck compared to the truck races. But in light of like how bad short tracks are, how bad super speedways are, mile and a halfs are still the only thing that to me are still at least somewhat entertaining.
Yes.
Like the racing.
Yes. Because like even in short tracks, there's nobody getting moved out of the way anymore unless you're in front of Austin Dillon at the end of a race at Richmond. But other than that, there's really nobody getting moved. You know, like it's pretty boring.
I don't even need to see somebody get moved. Just pass somebody. Get side by side, race. I don't know.
Uh,
Like instead, or just all sitting single file, big gaps.
yeah,
I don't. That's boring.
it turns into less racing on the track and more racing on pit road. That's not what I want to see at all.
Now I'm really cool with watching the races off of pit road and seeing all that drama unfold, the pit road stuff. Like I'm cool with that. But if there is no racing product, I could care less about the pit road racing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's either both or neither. And I don't. For me.
I feel like that they're scared to pass each other unless they just know they're faster than the guy in front of them. Because if you try a pass and you get side by side, the leader's just gone. The cars in front of you are just going to pull away. The cup cars are so slow side by side with each other.
Yeah. But it seems like NASCAR's heard people like us, and they're trying. They're I think it's pretty much in effect that we're gonna have more horsepower next season, so maybe that'll help out the racing product altogether. Uh, and I think they're steadily trying to fix some stuff to satisfy angry dumbasses like us that just want to see everybody wreck each other, you know.
Yeah, just
So
give them 1,000 horsepower and put them on spare tires that you get out of somebody's car in the parking lot, and let's see what happens.
yeah, and jack the ass end up about a foot higher than the front.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see a doorstop with spare tires on it and 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah. Exactly.
Basically, just take the Xfinity car and give it to the Cup Series with more
Yeah, with a
horsepower.
right. So I think the basic, breakdown of the weekend was same as last week. Truck Series put on a baller show. I think that trend's probably gonna stay pretty much the same going forward. Truck Series was awesome.
Yeah,
Little angry with host Far, how he acted and some of the things he did on the track, but still a good ass race. Corey Heim looked like a freak as usual. Got unlucky along with a bunch of other drivers that were fast. ARCA race was an ARCA race. Cup race, the Larson show, and got to see some old heads with some speed, some fan favorites with some speed. So it was entertaining more than Martinsville or some of the other tracks on the schedule. So I think we'd take Kansas as a dub for NASCAR altogether.
for sure, for sure. I wasn't mad about it at all. It's kind of, I would have liked to have seen some of the people that were players in the game get to stick around, like Josh Berry not get a penalty, Brad Keselowski not run his air pressure on 12 in the right rear, just to see what would have happened if anybody could have caught Kyle Larson. Even Chase Elliott was able to catch him and get the lead for a couple of laps before having trouble on pit road. And it's like after that trouble, you never seen him again.
Yeah, poor poor fan favorite Chase. But anyways, what else? You got anything else?
That's
Any
it.
more spicy clips? Is that it?
That's it for me. I don't have nothing else.
What's up with next week?
Next week we got no Xfinity again. There's no Xfinity All-Star race.
Okay.
And then we will have the trucks who are running, I think they're running 250 laps. Yeah, 250 laps on Saturday. Two races. I believe it's a heat race and then the actual race for the Cup Series on the 18th. One at 4:30 and one at 7. Then I will have
Is the
to.
is the Truck Series a point span race?
No, it is a All-Star race as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Then I'll have to look and see what time the Cars Tour race starts.
So those are our three races. We don't have ARCA next week
No ARCA, no
or this
Xfinity.
week.
Right. Yeah, no ARCA, no Xfinity. Just
Okay.
Cars Tour, Truck, All-Star Cup race.
Sounds good, man.
And, of course, as always, subscribers to the YouTube, free access to every race streamed on Discord, which might become more relevant now that it's going to Prime. Not everybody has Amazon Prime. If you don't, no problem. Hit the sub button and join the Discord. Get free access to those races.
Yep, you'll be able to watch them live with us.
Yeah, we'll even take you if you're Joey Logano fans. We don't care.
Maybe.
All right, man. We will run it back next week for the All-Star Race recap.
Goodbye. Ja, ja.
Bye.